Well said by Alan Kay. Hosted by City Montessori School, Lucknow, the International Conference of Principals is a distinguished gathering of visionary educational leaders from across the world. The 2025 edition, currently ongoing from May 2nd to May 4th, revolves around the compelling theme, Leadership in the 6Cs era. This theme underscores the integration of 6 essential competencies in education: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, citizenship, and character. The very skills shaping learners for an evolving world. Innovation distinguished between a leader and a follower. Again, well said by Steve Jobs. In an era defined by a rapid transformation, the role of education and the role of school leadership has transcended beyond conventional management. It now calls for foresight, innovation, and a deep commitment to fostering learning environments that inspire curiosity, inclusivity, and resilience. Visionary leaders serve not just as administrators only, but also as change makers, driving pedagogical advancements, empowering educators, embracing technology, and embedding the 6Cs at the heart of the school culture. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Now, this is a very, very powerful quotation by Nelson Mandela. It is with great pride and anticipation that we welcome you to this significant gathering, the International Conference of Principals at CMS Lucknow. Today's panel session, titled Transforming Education, the Role of School Leaders, focuses on how educational heads can reimagine school as vibrant hubs of innovation and empathy. By doing so, they do not merely reflect the present, but illuminate possibilities, turning mirrors into windows, as Sydney J. Harris beautifully said. Over to Sonali ma'am for introduction of the panelists.
So let me take the privilege to introduce our esteemed panelists. We have among us Mrs. Jessica Gomes Sorana. She is the principal of Birla High School, Mukundapur, Kolkata. Can we have a good round of applause for them? Welcome, ma'am. We welcome you on this forum. Next, we have Mr. John Parmata, the principal, St. Peter's College, Durgapur. Next is Mr. Charles Joseph Nice, the principal, St. Michael's School, Durgapur. We welcome you, sir. Now we have Dr. Sri Devi, Principal, Satya Sai Public School, Chennai. We welcome you, ma'am, for this forum. And we welcome you all in Lucknow, the Nawabon ka shahar. Muskuraiye ki aap Lucknow mein hai. So we should see everybody smiling, and you should go from Lucknow with that smiling face. So together, let us embark on meaningful dialogues and shared insights that will shape the future of education. One empower leader at a time. So I welcome Jessica ma'am to share her views.
Check. Thank you, ma'am. Can I have the PPT, please? So I'll take it forward and continue from where Mrs. Sethi ended when she said, education is the most important weapon which you can use to change the world, by Nelson Mandela. I'd like to mention, instead of weapon, we call it a tool today. And in order to change the world, education too needs to change. Education needs to update and upgrade itself in order to cater to this ever-changing world. A very good afternoon to everyone present out here. To begin with, I would like to thank you for bringing me on board. I think this is a great platform where I will not only be able to share my ideas, but I look forward to taking ideas from others, because that is transformation, and that is what we're aiming at. So when I look at transforming education, the role of school leaders today, you'll see, and I think all of you over here would agree with me, there has been a distinct paradigm shift. The last 5 years, 2020 and 2025, I think the most dramatic changes have taken place in education. And these changes, it seems that two things made the change. One was a disruption, and the other was the driver. And change always takes place after a disruption takes place. Now, who's the disruptor and who's the driver? That we need to decide. NEP 2020 and COVID-19. I will not tell you who's the driver and who's the other one here. And I look at them both as very positive drivers and distractors over here. Because if it wasn't for these two, we would have still been stuck for n number of years in education. A major paradigm shift took place, and we shifted from the I in leadership to the we in leadership. And I think that was a much needed change. Otherwise, it was always the leader was I. But when COVID-19 took its place, you all know, and I know as a leader, it was because of my team that we were able to move ahead. 22nd March, I think, was the date when everything came to a halt. And all our schools had to begin the new academic session. And many of us did begin on the scheduled date. That was transformation. And that was the first start of transformation. And that would have not been possible. It was a different sort of bonding over those days. I know in the evening, after all that we went through, I sat with my teachers, and in all that madness of learning all the different platforms, be it Zoom, be it Google, we had a little laugh and all that stress too. And that I saw as a change. Because we got to understand what our teachers were going through. And for those principals who were teaching in the classroom, like I myself was teaching, I got to connect very well with my co-worker. And I got to understand what she was going through when I was setting dates for submission of question papers and work submission. I find that to be a major paradigm shift. And then when we speak about this transformation in education, we look at very strong leadership. Effective leadership that will bring about a positive change and improvement. Over the years, as we have all done different trainings in leadership, we would have come across various leadership styles. Be it autocratic, be it democratic, be it transactional, be it shepherd leadership, be it servant leadership, and of course, transformational leadership. Transformational leadership, when I look at it, two very strong styles of leadership emerge. Extremely strong styles of leadership. One is the visionary leader, and the other is the instructional leadership. If we want education to transform, we need to look at ourselves having a higher proportion of these two styles of leadership. Why? Because when we look at a vision, a leader without a vision will not be able to lead the flock. And as I was walking up the steps, again I noticed a beautiful quote by Nelson Mandela, which mentions the leader as the shepherd. Now the shepherd needs to have its vision, its mission, its aim, its goal. And therefore we look at this sort of visionary leadership. We look at setting direction. We look at inspiring staff. And again I go back to your founder, who is a man of inspiration and motivation. The observation of a leader in transformation is so important. And therefore, I look at the visionary leadership. I also look at instructional leadership, very strong. We have to keep inspiring all those that work with us, I'll not say under us, because I said the shift is from I to we. So we have to work together. We have to keep inspiring each other. And over these 5 years, this is something as a leader that I have consciously done. We keep inspiring. When I look at it again, we will be having monitoring our progress as an instructional leader. We cannot just say, this is my vision, this is my mission, this is my goal, you go ahead and you do it. At every step, if you sit back and you think of that 2020, what were we doing? Weren't we monitoring? The first day you went into your Google Classroom or your Zoom classroom. Again in the evening we touched base. Then it got a little less. It came to the week. Then it came to 2 weeks. Then in a month. And then COVID went off and some forgot about that we paradigm. But transforming education has to continue with what started in 2020. Because NEP is spelling out very clearly what is transformation of education. Now, in order that I get my leadership styles going well, it is so important that we build relationships. Every leader would know. And a leader to begin with is that teacher in that classroom. She herself, and remember that teacher is pivotal because we as leaders sitting at 2 levels above or maybe 3 or 4 levels above, we don't know what is happening on ground level. It is our teachers who have to manifest that first role of leadership. So when we build relationships, and constantly we are building these relationships with our teachers, I know in our schools, every month there is a staff meeting, all our teachers. At times you may have a lot on the agenda. At times you just meet to know if all is well, which is so important. We also have office staff meetings once a month to keep the relationship going. That is so important. When we look at our community engagement, that is so important. And again, these two, the 2 Ds that I told you, the NEP and especially COVID-19, opened up our doors. There were no boundaries left. And that still continues till today. And that is why you'll see at that time, our homes just opened up because we had to take classes from the home. There were a lot of problems that did crop up. But what we needed to do and what we need to do is take out constructive things from those diminishing boundaries. We need to get on board our stakeholders. I don't like using that word stakeholder. I was just telling the team over there. I have just come into a new school and I come from a convent as a principal for 10 years and we never use the word stakeholders or client because the moment you use that, parents get very demanding. You change the equation. But the moment you say, you are that third limb of that triangle. So first is the school, second, of course, and most prime is the child, and the third limb of the triangle is the parent or that family. So when you look at it from that angle in an orientation, you see the entire dynamics would change. You're opening your doors out, but you're getting the community engagement in a very constructive, positive, effective manner. So building that relationship, building not only relationships but also managing change, which is so important. And then you will see leading innovation, there's no 2 ways about it. Today there is so much of innovation, I think all we leaders are going a little crazy with the amount of innovation. Because everybody is trying to innovate. So what amount of innovation do I need in my school is a big question that we need to ask. And that is very school specific because different schools are very different. The ethos is very different. And yet, with the changing times, we need to insert a little bit of this innovation with technology even better. But again, we have to see the financial implications of technology coming into innovation. And then, of course, managing the challenges. These are all the relationships that we need to build, and we have been building in our systems. And how do we do it? Yes, of course, we have orientations. In the month of April, I know my teachers and we are exhausted because almost every day there is an orientation with some class or the other. And you're meeting parents. You need to spell out exactly what you expect from them through the course of the year. And during the course of the year, again when there is a PTM, at least 2 PTMs in the year is what we have inserted into our system. So again, once more you meet the parents. In between, if we could work on a little circle time, which we do, with some parents, would be a very good way again of addressing these problems or challenges that might crop up. Now, when we look at the next, we look at developing staff and school culture. And I think this is something that all 4 of us would be talking about. Teachers are forming the base of any educational system. If we have a good set of teachers, our system is going to be good. It is as simple as that. And if there's any teachers over here and coordinators, I mean the past few years, have you realized how rich have you got? If I take, even if your school started 3 years back, CPD or CBP, the 2 boards have a different nomenclature for it. So 50 into 3, you have 150 hours of training. My God, was that ever done before? Today, if we're sitting together, this is the collaboration that has come about in transforming education. We make that effort today to come together. We need to collaborate. And even when we sat today in our small little table over there was so much to learn with them, and I hope we get the time to move through all. That is what we need for transformation. And we are doing it in our little circles. But today, with this transformation, we've stepped into bigger circles. Many have traveled across their states and come together. And that has happened because of this transformation. And as I said, these were positive 2 changes that happened. So when I look at mentorship in the school, yes, we have a mentoring system, which is very urgent. Every year you'll have a new team of teachers coming into the system. And every school, again, I cannot but emphasize what an institution stands for. Every educational institution has a foundation. We build on that. Let us not forget where we stand on that ground in the process of transformation. This is something that I have to keep telling myself and my teachers. Foundation stays intact. The flowers will keep changing. Flowers are seasonal, right? So everything that comes along will change. But do not compromise with what our institution stands for. And that is something which has to be the base of transformation. So when we look at mentorship, when new members join the family, be it teachers, be it other staff members, be it students, we need to orient them. So we have orientations, we have mentoring programs in place where time and again a new person into the family, I like to call this system of us, this school, our family. Because honestly, in leadership roles, you will know we spend more hours in the school than at home. And many a times the other part of us that stay back, who are very supportive, tell us, you know more that is happening in the life of your n number of students than your own 2 children in the house. So thereby, we better know what we are moving into. It is very urgent. When I look over here again and I see well-being, today well-being has become very important. It's not that these things were not there. Please understand, it's not that these things were not there in education. Education wouldn't have grown. The foundation was there. But with these things today, we have got more attracted to very key prime areas which we need to address because times are changing. Family structures are changing. Society is changing. And therefore, we also need to change. Then when I look, so I think I'll have to move, otherwise, ma'am, please tell me if I'm exceeding my timing, because I know this is such a an area, where you just love to share. And if I look at transforming education, I look at personalized and project-based learning, and that is all that we're doing. Today, student centricity is so important. And we're looking at every student, all of us, you see today what we've done in our lesson plans. Bloom's taxonomy is there. We are looking at our different types of learners that are coming into the system. They were there before. The numbers of children who come into that area of special children were not as many as they are today. But we are putting that into our lesson plans. We are putting each child, if a child is not faring well, once we are able after a few months to see that that child is not at par, we are having remedial training and classes for children. So we have to look at a child, capital A. Every child, education has to be student-centric. And we all are doing it, and we need to focus more on that. We need to look at competency-based learning, which was one of the C's that ma'am mentioned in the 6 C's. And yes, interdisciplinary approach is something that we're all doing today. It's lovely to see that when we have projects, if we're going out of town, I know I am a geography person, and I love sitting with my history counterpart when I'm planning. And if it's 11, 12, then there's social, then there's psycho, then there's English. You just sit together, one educational trip, and you just plan it well, all your worksheets, and that is done with this interdisciplinary approach. So this is something that we're all looking at. And then, of course, application, real world, is what we are all focusing on. That is something that we keep doing every day, every teaching. We have to take them into reality. We cannot anymore just stay to the book. That is a major change that has taken place. Learning is now more in the open. It's more of experiential learning that we're talking about. Learning, it was there. Again, I am emphasizing it was there. But we have to address it today even stronger. That feel, that touch, that sense of education needs to come into being. And yes, technology, we are all into technology. This is something that we're looking at. And you see blended learning, digital literacy, and along with digital literacy, what we do consciously is at least once in the year to have workshops on cyber security, because if we are opening them into that zone of digital space, social media space, we need to protect our children, because our children's protection, remember, these are minors, these are little ones. So cyber security is something that we bring into our system. Peer learning is something that all of us are getting better every day. Peer learning, micro-teaching for the teachers. Inclusive and equitable education strategies. I would like to know more about people who are doing and really getting a lot of success with inclusivity, because in our schools today with NEP, we have to be inclusive centers, but there are a lot of challenges. The reason being that the spectrum is huge spectrum when it comes to special education. And not only a huge spectrum, there are a lot of variations and combinations in all the cases that we have. So I'd like to hear more on this, how we go ahead, because we are doing our bit, but there's always scope to learn more if we want to transform. And yes, all the points that we've already mentioned, you could see over there. And this is extremely important in transforming education. It's no more just about saying. It's about getting that data in place. I know as soon as the board results come out, the first thing we do is draw up a statistical representation. And then, because we know that which subject needs more improvement, and we also know which teachers need to be appreciated. Because somewhere in that length of going to perfection and transforming, many a times we forget to appreciate our teachers. So those who have done well, when we have assessments, now that we've finished the term, we've had appraisals coming across the school. Now with our board results, let us club them together. Let us develop an analysis, what we do. And then once we have these data in place, then only can we again tweak and work on transformation. And as I said, I could go on, but all of us have that seed of becoming transformational leaderships. I have a little video, so we could see that video, and there are 4 key words that they will be mentioning in that video, where you'll see every one of us had that seed. It's just how that germination has to be taken into being. Thank you so much. I hope I've been able to share a little of my school. Thank you.
Are you playing the video? Yeah.
Uncompromisingly ethical. Through your words, you can communicate to your followers that you have high moral and second categories. The first category, which is called idealized influence, includes behaviors that involve becoming a strong role model for your followers or your subordinates. You can become a strong role model by working very hard and by setting a positive example for everyone around you. If your followers see you working conscientiously and diligently day in and day out, odds are that they will begin to respect you and admire you. A second way by which you can become a strong role model is by being uncompromisingly ethical. Through your words, you can communicate to your followers that you have high moral and ethical standards. And through your actions, you can communicate that you stick to your high moral and ethical standards even when the going gets tough. A third way would be to emphasize to your followers the importance of having a common mission and make self-sacrifices to help your followers to realize that mission. Enacting such behaviors will earn their respect and they will want to identify with you and with what you stand for. The second category of behaviors is called inspirational motivation. It involves developing a promising vision for the future and then clearly communicating that vision to your followers through the use of inspiring stories, vivid imagery, and captivating symbols. It also includes making emotional appeals to your followers and urging them to work harder and go above and beyond their roles and responsibilities in the pursuit of this shared vision. Such appeals, especially if made by someone that they greatly respect and admire, often result in a high level of commitment and performance. The third category of behaviors is called intellectual stimulation. It includes encouraging followers to look at day-to-day problems from different perspectives and allowing them to come up with creative solutions to those problems. It also involves supporting your subordinates as they think outside the box and try new methods to solve existing problems. This might mean that you might have to have a certain amount of tolerance for mistakes that are made in the process, because thinking outside the box and developing creative solutions can sometimes backfire. A good transformational leader does not let the fear of mistakes constrain the creativity of his or her subordinates and provides them with a supportive environment where they can take calculated risks. The fourth and final category of behaviors is called individualized consideration. This includes coaching and helping your followers to achieve their goals. It also involves providing a supportive climate and carefully listening to their needs so that you can help them to fulfill those needs. The type of coaching that you can offer your followers may vary depending upon who is in need of help. For some followers, you might have to provide explicit guidance regarding how to get a job done, while for some others, you might have to offer them the resources that they need and let them figure out the solution on their own. These are the four types of behaviors which, if you perform consistently, will make you a transformational leader that people respect and admire. And as noted previously, decades of research has shown that being a transformational
Thank you, Jessica ma'am. Thank you very much. During your presentation, you talk about two very powerful, I will call them as happenings in the last 5 years, which have given a lot of insight, and it gave us, time to reflect and think that we really need to do something as educationists, and those were COVID-19 and NEP. Then you also gave us some very valuable insights by focusing on the shift from I to we, and also focusing on building relationships, not calling our parents as stakeholders, but as that third limb, so who completes that triangle
along with the school and the student. You spoke about well-being, about remediation, about project-based learning, about integration of subjects, competency-based curriculum, data-driven decisions. You've given us a complete holistic 360-degree view of what should schools look like now. And your comments, I think, have really resonated with all of us. Do you agree, dear friends? Yes. And of course, you said that a leader is somebody who cannot be without a vision. And for that, you quoted the example of our most respected late founder, manager, Dr. Jagdish Gandhi. Indeed, Sir was and is and will always be that visionary, because of whom we all are here. And he was the one who showed us the way, the path. Because whenever I remember Sir's visionary leadership, I recall that particular reading which I had read in one of the books, which said that Mahatma Gandhi, or be it Nelson Mandela, they were all visionary leaders. And what was common about all of them? The common thing was that they took ordinary people and they made those ordinary people extraordinary. Because with the people with whom Mahatma Gandhi fought for the freedom of the country, they were all common men. And it was just his leadership, his guidance, his way of telling them that my vision is not my vision, it is our vision. It is through that those common people, decided to even lay down their lives for the country. So this is what a visionary leader is about, the one who makes his vision as the vision of all the people who are working with him. So thank you, ma'am, and I could see that reflection in you. You seem to be a very, very effective, impactful, visionary, transformational leader. Thank you, ma'am, for that presentation. Thank you very much. Any questions for Jessica, ma'am? Yes. Teacher, one of the, yes, Sidra, ma'am, if you could just pass one mic to sir. Yeah.
Thank you. It's a wonderful presentation. I'd like to appreciate from our group from Nepal.
Thank you, sir.
So, one eagerness, very simple. Can we get a soft copy of your presentation?
Why not?
Thank
We've
you.
come here to collaborate. It's something that I'd love to share.
Thank you.
So that is available. Please share it.
Thank
We
you.
need to be sharing and kind when we come into leadership too.
Thank you.
Please take it.
Now, yes, and for the panelists and for all the audience, this is going live on YouTube. So we've shared the live YouTube link in your groups also. Yes. So I think with no further questions, can we move to our next panelist? Okay, so we have Mr. John Parmata, Principal, St. Peter's College, Durgapur, for his presentation. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come and share transforming education, the role of a school leader. As Ma'am Jessica already covered whatever we had, so we are searching for what next we speak on. She's taking everything from us. Right, sir? Ma'am? So, we are all transformed right now. Yeah, they are, but yes, change is an inevitable part of our education system. Whether it is integration of new technology, curriculum adjustment, or shift in teaching methods, schools are constantly changing, are evolving around it. However, managing these changes effectively is critical to ensure that they have a positive impact on students, teachers, and the entire school community. Education in 2025 is a dynamic landscape shaped by technology, which is advanced involving practice, and a growing emphasis on personalized learning. the NEP 2020 has further escalated the shift, urging schools to adopt holistic, inclusive, and very important, as ma'am said, student-centric approaches. Therefore, as leaders, school leaders are in the forefront of this transformation. We are not just administrators, but as a visionary driving institutions and cultural change. Therefore, the modern leader, we are not just leader, we are a manager. We are managing everything. Gone are those days when school leaders were confirmed as administrative tasks. Today, they are cultural architects, innovation catalysts, and bridges between the policy and the practice. Therefore, for me, transforming education today, school system requires a multifaceted approach that addresses the diverse need of students, teachers, and a broader community. So therefore, what are the key roles of the school leader? What we as leaders need to do? The first one, technology is transforming education, and school leaders must act as a strategic implementers of these tools. We need to implement them. The sooner, the better for us and our school. From AI-powered platforms, for reading comprehensive to virtual classrooms, the focus should be on how technology can enhance teaching and learning outcome. That is the most important thing as leaders we need to look in. Therefore, how do we do it? By promoting teachers' training programs. The next in line are the teachers. They need to be given this opportunity. Methods, the method adopted by teachers, their actions, judgment, and teaching strategies that they use, taking into consideration the theories of learning, understanding of students and their needs and their backgrounds, and interest of individual students. This is where our teachers, as a visionary leader, I see it, that we need to give this opportunity to our teachers, where they start learning these methods. As ma'am said, the COVID time, our children were absolutely what they were and what they are now. There's a huge differences. We need to first understand our students. So these workshops that are there, the seminars they go, they attend all this, these are the places where they need to learn. And if we give these opportunities as a leader to our teachers, I think half the job is done. Identifying the gaps and redefining teaching strategies. That is where we are not supposed to be looking at. Leadership in 2025 requires creating collaborative environment that includes teachers, parents, and the community that is a part of us. I believe in 5, as ma'am said, she has the school, the students, and the parents. And I believe the leader, the teachers, the students, the parents, and our staff, we work together. And when we do that, we see a bigger change that is there. So I have included 2. Okay. What action can be taken? Established professional learning communities, PLC, for teachers to exchange ideas and practice. Teachers collectively question their practices, analyze data, and refine their instructions to meet the students' need. That is where I look at. They are the ones who are handling the students all the time. So we as visionary leaders, should give this opportunity to our teachers where they can come in together, exchange their ideas and practices, conduct workshops with parents to align on educational goals and strategies. This manual with PTMs, with meeting parents individually, talking to them. The other thing which I was looking into was partnering with industries. The real-world application, students can learn about understanding the real-world scenario through guest lectures, workshops, internship, making the learning more relevant and energetic. So partnering with industries and NGOs, which can help us to see, in the end, to see our children learning and growing. Transforming education involves moving away from rote learning and towards more engaging and personalized learning experience. This includes incorporating interdisciplinary approach, which Ma'am spoke about, critical thinking, creativity, and digital literacy into the curriculum. Beyond technology and strategic roles, modern school leadership demands empathy and emotional intelligence. The pandemic has underscored the importance of mental health and supportive school culture. Leaders must be proactive in building an environment where teachers, students, and staff feel well, valued, and empowered. Appreciating our teachers, which Ma'am said. We just look at the results and we don't see the hard work the teachers have put in to see the weakest child also getting above that person to clear his results. We are looking at only the toppers, 99.8. What about the one who was right at the bottom, who the teacher gave everything and made sure the child got the results that he was expected? We should also look at them also. The role of school leaders in 25 transcends traditional boundaries. They are visionary, innovators, community builders, driving education into a future shaped by technology, policy. This is what I felt. And then Ma'am spoke about child-centric. So these are the few things that we do in our school. Childhood is generally the happiest part of one's life. A school plays a crucial role in creating memories that last a lifetime. Alongside the lessons we learn through our childhood sticks with us and molds our future. Our school strives to provide holistic education with a focus on academic excellence, character formation, and all-round development. The school aims to nurture well-rounded individuals who are prepared for a successful future and socially committed. Not only successful future, but socially committed. Our school works towards ensuring that our child leads a disciplined, happy, and responsible childhood so that they grow up to be a diligent leader of the society. Therefore, our school provides wholesome education that focuses on life skills and physical fitness along with a regular curriculum. So the developments that we do, beyond academics, we have a wide range of extracurricular activities, which all the schools have, sports, arts, cultural program, allowing students to explore their interests and develop their talents. Our school facilitates physical, emotional, social development, wide range of activities, including sports, which I've spoke about, allow students to explore their interest and develop their talent. A lot of time we don't look into it, but children are there with
we are continuously introspecting and reflecting on the same. So, yes, and then one more thing which sir said was modern leader is a manager. That has knocked all of us. So actually the manager changes and effectively impacts every, I would say, corner, every, our beloved founder, director, ma'am, always, whenever she comes, she always, that's something in Hindi, but I would like to quote that हर पत्ते पे प्रिंसिपल का नाम लिखा, even for the plants, she says हर पत्ते पे प्रिंसिपल का नाम लिखा होना चाहिए और कैंपस हमेशा दिल्ली की तरह सजा होना चाहिए. So these are the two things we actually follow in all our campuses, and we try that we, keep up the expectations of our founder, manager, and director. Then again, we are emphasizing an ANP 2020 which has escalated. The shift has become more student-centric now. Multifaceted approach, who would understand? We all are facing this after COVID. The multifaceted, the multitasking, everybody is facing we are all sailing in the same ship. Technology actually has started playing a role, I would say. And then we need to understand the student and teacher's need to actually fill up the learning gaps. We would 100% agree. Again, I think that's two crucial points to emphasize on is the 5 pillars, I would call, which you emphasized on, which were parents, students, leaders, teachers, and staff. We often forget leaders and teachers, which are like our staff members and leaders, which are actually pillars of everything. But we often forget that. So I would appreciate you including them again, not forgetting them. So as a visionary leader, teachers should also get an opportunity. We definitely would agree. Like sir wants to, I perceive that you want to say as the leaders are getting opportunity, the teachers and staff members should also get such kind of opportunities. So I'd like to highlight that in Mr. John's point as well. Then modern school leadership impacts mental health. So wellness obviously is very well, actually nowadays it's become very, very important. And with that, I feel we all feel valued. Be it the student, be it the teachers, be it the leaders, be it everybody. We feel very valued when we actually impact even the mental health of the student or the teachers, I would say. So your contributions to the discussion are invaluable on visionaries, innovations. So I would appreciate. Thank you so much, sir. And now we would invite Mr. Charles Joseph Nis, Principal St. Michael's School, Durgapur, to throw some light on whatever topics you feel. Because now they are complaining that they've covered all. So
Thank you very much for diluting everything. However, it's truly an honor to be before you all, great leaders, to present my side of transforming education. As school leaders, we wear many hats: managers, guides, counselors, sometimes even crisis managers. But most importantly, we are visionaries, change makers, torchbearers of innovation in education. So we shape the culture of our schools, influence the mindset of our teams, and create the conditions for meaningful learning to flourish. Going through whatever ma'am had said and sir had said, we also need to go back to the SDGs. we have to remember them also who have missed this part. But we need to start somewhere. The second one is education is critical for the capacity to learn and relearn through life the skills for the changing world of work. From its technical and organizational aspects to the managing of human relations. The third one is to develop our capacity and the values necessary for learning to live together. This is to do with ethics, equality, and justice, with civic responsibilities. I'm using the word civic responsibilities, and I don't need to stress on it. Everybody knows exactly what is what. Democracy and human rights, with respect and enjoyment of human diversity, and of course, with our capacity and active commitment with sustainable development. The fourth and usually underappreciated role of education is the development of our capacity to enjoy life and live it fully and to the fullest. We've forgotten. I'm being very candid on this. We have all forgotten that. We are looking at, okay, what we need to do next, and actually have forgotten ourselves. And I presume, I cannot take it for granted, some of us are on pressure tablets. Sorry, I shouldn't be saying something like that, but it's a fact. We have actually forgotten to live our own lives, to enjoy it, and more so when you come back home to be with your family, enjoying yourselves. By the time you forget, by the time you come to 20 years of experience, you look back, you have actually lost enjoyment time, the family time, right? However, I just put this in because many people have forgotten this. So this includes many of the most sublime aspects of human endeavor, our creative potential, our aesthetical capacity to enjoy and express ourselves through arts, our disposition for leadership, for leading a healthy life, our practice for physical activities, games, and sports. In my school, we've worked together, as what ma'am had said, and she knows me very well because I think from the beginning of the century we've known each other. And yes, she said that we're sounding very aged. However, we haven't come through half the century. But it was her first time at Le Matinee, and my side also first time at Le Matinee, and we got to know, and we were always being together and discussing a lot of things. So we must begin ourselves by looking at what does success look like for every child. That's what I was looking at. What success looks like for every child. This question led us to redefine our goals, not focusing only on grades or marks or ranks, but often on nurturing confidence, curious and compassionate individuals. It's very, very important. When we were youngsters, we had to just go for grades. We had to go for marks. Now, the full scenario has changed. One of the most powerful changes we made was empowering our teachers as leaders. Earlier, the teachers would just come in, do their work, and make sure that the students get good grades. Now, they have been empowered. Whenever I have meetings, I don't take any decisions. I ask for everybody's opinions, and then delay the decisions and tell everybody else, please think over it again. So what happens is sometimes when you go back, you're more relaxed, and then you begin to think more. Then they come back, and then we take a final decision. It's not that it's delayed. Sometimes we say a delay in a correct decision is always wrong. But we have that time, because what happened as visionaries, we are looking far ahead. So it gives us enough time to get through with things. Another key shift towards This is your student-centered learning. We introduce personal learning plans, allowing students to progress at their own pace. This boosted engagement and helped every student feel seen and supported. What I have done here is, in our school, I've just asked students, participate. You can come last, nothing to worry, but everybody needs to participate. So when we've had, I'm just giving an example, Grandparents' Day, everybody had to do something, however little it may be. But at the end, they were very happy with it. Take part in drawing competition. So I cannot draw. I said, don't worry. Just do something. And you will never believe that some of them have created the best drawings. And that has amazed me. We also made a deliberate effort to foster a growth mindset culture in our school. We celebrate not just academic toppers, but also students who show improvement, resilience, and empathy. This change in mindset has created a more inclusive and motivating environment. Everybody knows about Interact Club and all the, but what we have done is we have chosen, say, homes, old age homes, and we've got students together. Everybody gives, I'm just giving an example, 1 onion. So we have 2,000 students. So you imagine at least 1,000 pieces we'll have, right? We will gather that. 1 potato, everybody. It doesn't cost anybody anything. The moment I say you bring 1 kilo and 10 kilo, then there's, everybody's eyes are opening. But just 1. So when we all come together, they know that it's just something that we're giving. And we take the class 11 students at one time, or class 10 students, to those old age homes, or to those places, maybe to some research place, and allow them to see what is happening. Let them mix with them. Have a little cultural program. And these are things that are very important for them. They begin to realize. They realize that, okay, this is wastage for them, or this is what we need to do for others. So when they go home, they also respect their elderly at home. Another thing that I have also started with the students, all I said was, when you get up in the morning, you have your mother, your father, your grandparents, say good morning. Before you go to sleep, say good night. Give them a hug. There's nothing wrong with it. I've had some of parents telling me, sir, I don't know what's happened with my son or my daughter. They are so much for the house. They're so caring. Well, we know that what we are supposed to do for our students is a life learning for them. That is important. Our journey wouldn't be complete without talking about, as we say, parents and the community. We turned traditional parent-teacher meetings into collaborative learning conversations. When Sir said something like this, because we generally discuss a lot. We are from the same place. So we discuss a lot about all these happenings. And we have a lot of meetings with parents. And as ma'am had said, parent-teacher meeting, and I take it for granted that we all have it. So I don't wish to get into this any further, but we all do all these collaborations so that everybody gets together. Communication is the most important thing. And if you communicate well, parents are, confident with the school, then they'll eat anything from your hands. I guarantee you that. We all talk about AI. Yes, and of course, technology plays a big role, but they're not a replacement for teaching. We are the teachers. We are the leaders. And it is we who are very, very close to our students. And I tell you, I leave everything to my class teachers and coordinators, and I tell them, ma'am, sir, please talk to the students. Don't bring it to me. We can discuss what we need to, and you go ahead and do it. So what happens is there's a relationship built. So we, of course, we get the feedback. We know what's happening. So in case anything goes wrong, like we say, we are crisis managers, right? So in case anything goes wrong, we are ready there to support our teachers. Very important thing that I've done is I've told my teachers, I'm there for you, don't worry. And please inform me should anything go wrong, or you feel anything is wrong, or just update me. So what happens is we are always in what I wouldn't say dialogue, but we're always in a discussion. The communication is a very, very important thing that we need to maintain, be it with our parents, be it with our teachers, students, our staff, and others in the community. Lastly, one of the most impactful areas has been placing well-being at the heart of our school culture. We introduce mindfulness sessions, peer group programs, and open door policies for mental health discussions for both students and staff. Now we are also having parents coming in. And, generally, when I was in school, we had Wednesdays, from this time to this time, parents could meet the principal, right? I have removed that board, and I've announced to all students, whenever you need to come and meet me, or to the vice principal, or to coordinators, please go ahead. But remember, don't miss your class. You get some of them, so we need to keep that also in the loop. So we are always there. So the students come over to my office, and I ask them, what you got now? And then accordingly, I will talk to them. I'll talk to them much later. So parents also come. Now, all parents don't have that amount of time to be free. Some parents are somewhere else. And between 10 and 11 or 10 and 12, it's difficult for them. So what I have done is during school hours, parents can come and meet, but they have to go through formalities. So I've kept doors open for them also. As I've said, I've asked all our students to take part in all activities. And I'm very, very happy to let you know that we have a co-ed education. At one time, it was 1:4. 4 boys is to 1 girl. Now it's more or less 50%, girls and boys. We've had them going for inter-school sports or activities. We've had something like 7 girls representing the state against 4 boys. So earlier it was just 1 and 1, but now as the years are going by, more and more are getting, and I'm very, very happy because they come for practices. They come and actually, I literally have to set a time for them to leave. I said, by 5:30, you need to go home. So it's very important that we get them to take part in sports. It releases a lot, right? It gets them to be, friendly with the others, as I would put it. Learn to accept, learn to take, or rather say, how I would put it is, thank you, team spirit. Learn to be together and also learn to accept mistakes of others. Right? We can always shout at somebody, yeah, you cannot do this and you could have done that. But what happens when it comes to you, when you make that mistake? So it's always good to pat the person on the back. Don't worry, next time we'll go ahead. And then to sit down and discuss about everything. And that's very, very important that we get them together and work together and also to move together. It's very, very important. So as leaders, our job is not only to have all the answers, but to create a space where questions can be answered, innovation is encouraged, and every voice is heard. So to all my fellow principals, educators, all our leaders, you are the heartbeat of your school's transformation. Stay courageous, stay curious, and remember that even small changes led with intention can create ripples of lifelong impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles, sir, for your valuable contribution to the discussion. And you started with the role of the school leaders, the different roles they play, often as a visionary who sets in culture in the school. Then you focused more on the SDG education. And we would also like to share this, that our lesson plans have a component called SDG. So teacher, while planning a lesson, writes that that particular lesson or that session has to be related with some or other SDG. Supposing they are talking about the maths class, they are talking about the trees, the plants, animals, they talk about SDG of land, life on land. So they relate it, and quality education is the most common SDG, I think SDG 4, which our teachers use while we sign the lesson plans. When we go through our lesson plans, we see that they mention that SDG 4 as the quality education for most of their lessons and the sessions. So CMS is like a part, or like they have incorporated SDGs, education, and they relate all the lessons, and the students are also aware of all the SDGs because they have it in the notebooks also. In the classroom, there is a display of all the SDGs. So that is also CMS is doing. Then you spoke about, more about the values you spoke about for the students as well as teachers. So when I was listening to Sir was talking more about the 6 C's for the teachers. Like she was talking about collaborative methods of the teachers and the parents. So I was picking up the words from there, like collaboration, communication, which our seminar, our workshop is about the 6 C's only, right? But we were talking about the 6 C's with the students, aspect of the students. But Sir was speaking about the teachers, the leaders, the collaboration of all the stakeholders or all the limbs of the triangle. And Sir also laid stress on our personal well-being. So, and that I think everybody agrees, and we also agree with this, that we also need to spare some time for us and get that me time for us, right, Sir? Thank you for your insights, Sir, your valuable inputs, and sharing your personal experiences with us. Thank you. Now we would like Sridevi ma'am to share her presentation. She is the principal from Satya Sai Public School, Chennai. Can we welcome her with a good round of applause? Thank you.
Yes, pleasant afternoon to one and all here. I think it's the last hour. Is everyone feel sleepy and hunger? So I'm going to give you a full meal to you now. Now I'm going to give you a full meal. Be energized actually, okay? Yeah. Yes. So I'm very happy. I want to thank the City Montessori family for the wonderful arrangement. Yes, actually I want to tell, we are, my school is a rural background from Tamil Nadu, the culture. So in yearly matriculation school, we have 4,500 and CBSE 1,000. 5,500 from outskirts of the village, the students are coming. So we are educating to the students of 1,000 students in the 21st century skills is really the question mark, but we are doing in a best way. So I am bringing into what are the practices we are doing. You may also do the practices, but we can share our thoughts actually. Yes. One among that value-based education. So I just brought is value-based education Supreme Power Day. Actually, we are celebrating, not a celebrate, it is in a curriculum-wise, we are planning a Supreme Power Day. The theme is actually, every Monday when the students comes to the morning, first morning, they have to paste in a bulletin board about the thoughts, Supreme Power Days, they have to pray, what they need. So for one example, I can say, the best in the week, that will be selected from the class teacher. I also go through the rounds, and then that will be the next Friday morning prayer assembly. We pray for the child what is need. Is a value, what is the need. One of the insight example I like to say, one student, the boy child, the sister is actually 24 years. Still, not 27 years. Still, she didn't get married. So many alliances are coming and going. So this year, definitely, my sister want to get a good alliance of marriage. So this is such a pity thing. So the child used to express, 8th standard boy used to express the ideas in a bulletin board, pray to the God. In that column, dear God, please give me so and so. About the personal, about the family, about the school. So this is a Supreme Power Day we are doing every Monday. And then next is actually Gratitude Day. Is a Gratitude Day is already we are doing the Gratitude Journal. Every Friday morning, the child have to paste a bulletin board. What all in the week, they have to say the thanks to the teacher, thanks to the parents and the society and drivers, aunties and all. So these gratitude of the best gratitude will be on Monday assembly, we'll be appreciate those students. So this is what we are doing now, value-based education. And next coming to that collaborative learning. We discussed about so many eminent persons that discussed about a collaborative learning. I can say, we are not say the competition actually. In our school, we'll say competition a word and we'll say each and everything is a collaborative. So as Sir used to inform, all the students used to participate. In our sector also, all the students will participate with a collaborative teamwork. In the collaborative teamwork, the prizes will be awarded actually. So the same, this is actually Rhapsody curriculum. So we are being, what is this Rhapsody curriculum? Is a 4C actually cognitive skill and all communication, critical thinking and creative thinking have to be enhanced to the children. In this actually, the persons from the, what they used to love the music, art and the curriculum. So all those things, because for example, Johnny S Papa used to be a mindset actually when we are in a kids. But at the same time, 6th standard, any concept on any point, because we are brought in a root learning methodology. So now we are inculcating a 21st century skill about the transformation of education, so many skills. So we are not able to recall all those things what we studied in a 6th standard. So this program will enhance the child to understand the concept of the music and art. This plays a vital role to recollect all those things in an effective way. So that is called as a Rhapsody. Rhapsody is a name. And curriculum, we are using a dancing and all those things actually. It's a multi-Vibgr like a water. We are collaborating with those things actually. Yes, next coming to the point, Atman, 3H coordination, physical education. As a 3H is actually head, heart and hand. So we are doing physical activities and Atman of yoga and mindfulness. All together we are bringing into a Atman of 3H in a physical activities we are bringing to the children in a welfare. Yes. Next to school cinema is a social emotional skill actually. So each school have to bring the social emotional skill. So for the social emotional skills, values and emotional can be teach to the children that can be caught. So for that each class from the kindergarten to grade 10, we are focusing the 10 cinema and along with the parents also, students and teachers also the movies. This enhance the potential what the child want to do and what else to be eradicate. As they are grooming us for day-to-day in a society, what to do and what not to do. This enhances the social emotional skill. So next is actually the skill-based education. We are bringing so many skill-based. Aero modeling is one of the thing. It's not only that aero modeling, this brings STEM education, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. This plays a vital role. So we are make a club activity in a aero modeling club. So this initiate the students of learning. And next, coming to the house activity, we already know each and every school we used to have a house activity, 4 house, a different name. So here we used to have what all in a society happened that 1 month, they have to think over it, what else a remedial they'll think over of. So many dance and debate and so many activities of other co-scholastic activities we enhance in a house activity. And next coming to that My Mentor program. This is really the excellent program, My Mentor program. It's a goal setting. Now personality development among the 10 goal setting and sustainability development goals have each and every students. We used to log in credential. This is a US program. We used to log into the credential of the individual children. They can go whenever they feel. They can go to the computer lab and then they can link and then they can answer those things with a practical so that when they answer to the questionnaire, they know what to do and what to learn and that is thing. So this program is an excellent way to develop the skills of the goal setting of 10 actually life skill program thing. So all the life skills will be enhanced the personality development from the My Mentor program and sustainable development goals. So next, coming to those actually RoboChamp curriculum. This curriculum is without technology today, there is no pace of the success. This is also related to the STEM education. So here the concept of the child from the class grade 1 to grade 10, what all in a science topic, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, these topics have to be enhanced in a classroom. Separate robotic lab is there. So the children used to be develop the STEM education in a better way. So coming to the next RoboChamp. Yes, Skill Expo. Recently, our CBSE conducted the Skill Expo on Bhubaneswar last academic year 2024. Our student used to be, I'm very proud to say, one among Tamil Nadu in the southern region, only one school participated and got a prizes. They went to the Bhubaneswar and received the Skill Expo awarded actually. So this is from the rural, that's what I already say, because many schools have participated, but one among, we just received 7th place in all over India in a Skill Expo at Bhubaneswar. So they done about a technology project because why we helped in a RoboChamp, the children used to learn the STEM education in a proper way that mold the child to be do the project in a better way. Yes, Career Guidance Expo. We usually will do so many expo, and last year we conducted the career because the child from the grade 1 they have to think what career they have to choose. So we conducted a Career Guidance Expo to our school. So this is a glimpses. So the children can able to choose the career from the, because grade 1, what the children learn, there may be mindset change to grade 10. What the student want to be a career to choose in a grade 10, automatically when they go for after completing 12, the career change. So these are the things, what are the options we have to do. And here in a career guidance, what the child choose the career, we ask the practical experiential learning to visit the child for 2 or 3 days to learn about, because as a doctor profession they love. When they go on learn, this is we'll do from grade after grade 6. When they go on learn, how about the practically, the experientially, what the career they want to choose. This may change the ideas in future. That's what we are doing in a Career Guidance Expo. And always CBSE enforce joyful learning in a classroom to be a vibrant of joyful learning. We bring so many activities. Yes, I think I am giving something to fulfill of your thing. Shall I? Yes. So experiential learning. So our children went to different shop. You can see the rural. And then they interact with the elderly person, other person shop and the customers. What is the need and how about the budget. And from after visiting those things, they'll prepare the budget for those things. This is what the experiential learning project. Last year we done the project. And sports activities, a number of activity. Our students also in athlete 7th place they done in a CBSE cluster match conducted in Chennai. And sports activity also we enhance many activities. And usually parents orientation is a major part of the school. So we interact the parent orientation. Already eminent persons discussed about this orientation program. Because here the parent orientation is the toughest part for me. Because usually those parents are expecting the mark point of view. Why in a matriculation the students used to score 80 and 90. As in a shifted to the CBSE they score only 40. So to balance those things, the parent orientation we want to enhance what methodology we are following. The own writing, not a route way method, and then they have to write in a own. So these are competency-based education. These are the variety of things we want to support the parents, and we want to give the more orientation and workshop to the parents. And next come the teacher orientation is a part. So each and every topic, the teachers have to be enhanced as a IT field. In IT field, technology field in a society, without a grooming of each and every program, they will be not in a IT field. The same thing now teachers, what we studied as a science teacher, that will not be helpful. So they have to mold, many training is needed for the upcoming of teachers orientation. And TEDx speaker, we create a platform for the TEDx speakers. From the young buds, they have to share the experience, how they are performing and how they are travel from home to school. And what is a TEDx? Usually the platform, which achievement, how I travel. So here the young child used to be a TEDx speaker, how they started the journey, and after joining in the school, how they are from home to school. So they share in their own words about the feeling of TEDx speaker. So this we inculcate. And club activities, so 10 club activities we done. From these club activities, our students are really, they are rocking. The main club activity we are doing mindfulness, entrepreneur skills, and agriculture club. And these clubs plays a vital role. And these enhance the students of what they want to learn from the subject knowledge to the practical oriented. They can study in a classroom actually. Yes. So collaborative teamwork led to success. Yes. I don't want to have a video. This takes some time, so I can skip to next. To be continued. And at last, I want to say one story to you all. Now we want to transform into what new education by listening to the story. You can whether you are all going to be a what transforming we can see. Yes. Yes. Here I like to say one story. One monkey. You can play next slide. Monkey actually in the group of monkeys used to be 8 monkeys in a room. So one banana. Yes, next. Banana story. Yes. So a banana used to be, the huge banana used to be there. So 8 monkeys. When one monkey want to go and pick the banana, all other 7 monkeys used to spray. So they can't able to what? Eat. So the person used to be what these monkeys, even if you give a wonderful fruit, they not try the level best. They are in a old tradition. So if you go, you will be jumped down. So they are spraying each other. They never allow one to also, those who come forward also, they never allow to reach to take the banana and to taste it. So next, the person what? One monkey from the main, he just removed and then he just shift to the other one new monkey. The new monkey try his level best to reach those things, but not able to pick the banana. And at later, what the master done? So everything to be discussed. So if you are changing second monkey also, the other 2 monkeys, new monkeys try, but other 6 monkey panic and then they didn't reach to taste the banana. So this is continuously. At last, the person used to do, he changed, eradicate all the 8 monkeys from the room. So he shifted the new transforming of new century, 21st century, new monkeys. So they all with the collaborative teamwork, they pick each other and then they taste the fruit. Now tell me, my dear teachers and the dear principals and the eminent personality, whether we want to be the old monkeys or new generation monkey that lies in our hand, we want to change the transforming of education in a better way. When we try our best, whether it has happened or not, we have to try our best to do incorporate in a better way society. As the 21st century skills, as a reading and writing is not a thing. Read and write is not a matter. Learn, unlearn, and relearn so that we have to bring the better society. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your dedication to the topic discussed is evident in your words. So that was actually well defined and full, that was a full platter, I would say. So I was taken aback by the Supreme Power Day. I hope you all are with me. That the first thing, maybe we are doing many things at our campuses or in our schools as well, but the Supreme Power Day, I was taken aback by that. I was actually touched. That is an emotional, I would say, an emotional quotient of a child and a teacher and a leader which is being touched on. And the second thing was Gratitude Day. We often forget, as Charles sir also said, that we should get up and wish at least each other in the morning and while going to bed. So this gratitude thing, in our daily lives, we often forget. But this is a good reminder to the students in a nutshell. And then there were many other things, collaborative learning and Atman 3D Coordination Day, I suppose. Socio-emotional skills, aero modeling, my mentor, skill expo, career, tech, TED Techs, whatever was there, like many things we are following. But these 2 were actually outstanding things which I would take back with me. And all your points are the testament of your experience, I would like to say again. Then that was a fantastic example of monkeys, which you all would agree to as well, that we actually need to learn, unlearn and relearn. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your experienced talk, I would say. And over to Reema ma'am for the conclusion of the panel session.
Thank you, Gagan ma'am, and thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful address and showcasing the best practices of your school on this forum. Thank you very much. And indeed, we were really touched by the way moral education is being held at your, tackled at your school. Even at CMS, we have a lot of programs dealing with moral education. And our founder director, who will be there for the inauguration today, ma'am is very particular about the school assembly. And ma'am always says one thing, that the school assembly is the class of a principal. So whenever we talk about doing away with one period or so for, taking up school assembly, like for any other practical or some other purpose or for any teaching period, she says, no, that is one class that a principal is supposed to take. So she is supposed to speak, because what she says, the children listen to that. So thank you, ma'am, for that. And dear leaders, almost all of us present here are leaders. Even if few teachers are present there, as I tell my staff members, that you are also leaders in your classroom. Because leader, there is no particular definition of a leader that you're a principal or a vice principal or a coordinator. We all are leading. Because every day when we are entering our school or we are entering our classroom, there are people who are looking up to us, whether they be children or there be adults as teachers or any other, people who are working in the school community. So we are facing a lot of challenge now because, our landscape is rapidly changing. And if we will not adapt to that change as teachers or as people who are in a position to make a difference in terms of our decisions, if we will not do that, then we'll be left behind. It is not a rat race I'm talking about. We'll be left behind in grooming our children or in developing our children for the 21st century skills. Because these children are going to grow in a very, very different world, which is going to be dominated by AI. So at the same time, when they're dealing with AI, we also have to teach them that they have to keep their values intact. These children are they are living in nuclear families. Many of the children nowadays don't have the concept of joint families also. So there are no grandparents at their homes to teach them values. Both parents are working, busy earning, busy looking, into their own careers. So who's going to teach them values? So now our jobs at school, have really scaled up because the school has become the most important, part of their life, which is going to give them those values. In fact, we have replaced the family also by 25% now. So if initially it was 50% school and 50% family, now it's 25% family and 75% school that is teaching that child in the kind of individual that child is supposed to develop and grow into. So we all are facing this, and by embracing this innovation, this change, this calculated risks that we are taking, school leaders have to stay ahead of the curve. And that is why we have called this conference. That is why we had these eminent panelists here. And that is why you'll be hearing a lot of people tomorrow. So from tomorrow onwards, when we are we are finally stepping into the conference, you'll see there are different kinds of sessions. We'll talk about moral values through our JYEP program. We will also talk about how to deal with mathematics, because if you take up any competitive exam, maths plays a very important role. So in the primary classes, how do we delve into the concepts of mathematics in a different way? So CMS has its own hands-on mathematics program. So you will be attending that session. Then we'll also be talking about experiential learning. We have people coming from outside of Lucknow, our experts who will be talking about experiential learning. We'll be talking about coaching and mentoring, because there is a shift now in the mindset. We are no more observing our teachers, inspecting our teachers. We are coaching our teachers. We are mentoring our teachers. Because the concept of inspection, class inspection, is redundant now. So we will be talking about those in our panels. We'll also be talking about how we are moving from human intelligence to artificial intelligence. That is also one of the most important eminent panels. We'll also be talking about the global perspective. This is as a subject, it is taught in our Cambridge schools. One of the host campuses, Golf City, my campus, is also a Cambridge school. So to our Cambridge children, we also take up the subject of global perspective. We teach them. So what is global perspective and why and how? We all can, even if we are from ICSE or CBSE, we can teach our children about global perspective in our regular classes. So these are the topics that we're going to touch about. So this pre-conference panel was basically introduced to set the tone for the conference that is coming up. And I hope you all are going to have a great, great conference. You'll have a lot of things to take away from CMS. And you're going to ask a lot of questions also. Because all our panels are open to the audience to ask questions. So I hope that you will have a lovely stay. Along with that, a lot of things that when you go back, you'll remember this conference. And you'll be back for the next conference in the year 2027. Thank you very much, everybody, for this panel and for being here. Thank you to our panelists. Can I get the names? Thank you to all our panelists for being here. Yeah, just 1 second. Okay. Thank you to John, sir, Mr. Charles, Dr. Sridevi and Jessica ma'am. Thank you very much for your contributions. They were lovely. In fact, indeed, I was actually thinking after the first two speakers, what are the other speakers going to speak about and what would I speak, about if I was a panelist over here? But yeah, the Lord is there with all of us. Thank you very much. Thank you and Jai Jagat. As we say in CMS, the lunch is ready in the CISV dining hall where we had the breakfast in the morning. So we can proceed for lunch and from thereafter you can retire to your rooms for some time. And 4:15 sharp, we are meeting in the auditorium. Thank you very much.